everybody. Just wanted to get things situated before all of you came in, or you're gonna come in. So I'm gonna have to rearrange some of the stuff in this room because it's really starting to drive me crazy. How much stuff there is in this room. This isn't gonna complicate things. Yeah, I am gonna shut the door, hoping this will. Okay, so. Alright, I see everybody should be here. There's so many things that, go into doing these things. So I can see everybody here. And I see people up there, at least people should be up there, before I continue. This is an issue. You know, I really, because here's the thing, there's gonna be a lot more space if I just move some of the stuff out of the way. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know where to put this chair. I'm just moving stuff around so that the space is more manageable. So that I can actually breathe in the space without having to struggle to do so. Okay, so hold on a moment. I'm just gonna grab the light. Good. Okay, so um I just want you to know that first and foremost, all of these meetings will be posted on my YouTube channel. I've had people come by and tell me not to do it, but I'm going to. I'm done putting a shield and a mask over what I do here. So I'm recording this off of my computer. And because I'm doing so, it will go up on my YouTube channel for the whole world to see. Okay. I'm not embarrassed because I don't care what other people think. So anyway. Now. And no, I will not go back several years from now and delete them. Alrighty, so now. Let me see if I can raise. You know what? I can't. I'd like to get this just a hair higher, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Oh well, it's fine. Okay, so today, the list, the agenda is, first of all, if I can get a marker that works. First of all, I'm going to go through the announcements. And then the mentioned guests will arrive. All of you should. Do you know who is going to come? I mean, I did send you an email and Daniel did as well. So a mentioned guest arrival. Wrapped, which is a book that we're all reading right now by Michael Northrop. And finally, the cherry on top of the cake, or the most important part, astrology for the soul. And then Tori Amos. So Tori Amos, maybe what I'll do is I'll just sort of scatter a Tori Amos song throughout this whole agenda. Let me just break it up to see what I want to do here. And then another Tori Amos song here without it sounding trivial. I know it sounds trivial to like you're probably looking at me thinking so trivial. Well, anyway, I try not to be so trivial. Believe me, I have had teachers that were trivial, including one that I had in the spring of 2023, who has a song about him that was released on September the 15th. Of course, you all know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to name names. So, Tori Amos song. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to begin by playing a song by Tori Amos to get us started here, and then I'm going to go through why the heck am I playing songs by Tori Amos, and what is the whole focus of this meeting? Well, it's coming. You just need to wait a little bit. So I'm going to turn it on, and I just want you to hear. Oh, you know what? I'm actually not going to do that. And it saves me from having to waste away and ruin perfect things. Thank you, YouTube, for your restrictions. I'm not going to be playing that song because of something known as I'm just singing. I'm going to sing it. I'm going to play a song right now on the keyboard. Thank you, rules and restrictions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm not making it up. I'll be right. It's a very real thing. You get caught with copyright. You're interesting. Okay. Stupid. All right. I'm not gonna play any songs or any videos when I do these meetings, and I think I already made it clear. Okay, you want to know how amazing my memory is? March 4th this year, Colette Baron Reed was here, and her new Oracle deck was 10 days away from getting launched. And I played Scooby-Doo, the Dreamweaver. Oh my gosh, is there gonna be okay, so I just need okay, great. So I need you to hold on because I'm going to be right back. Hold on for a moment, please. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you for waiting so patiently. If you want me at my best, you need to give me the space and grace to take care of whatever I need to take care of. Okay, so YouTube has a rule of no copywriting, of of nothing from any artist, from any song, of any video copyrighted. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, because you know what? It would have felt really, really silly to play those songs. And it would have, you're ready for this. I cannot remember the acronym that I came up with for this, but remember now. There is an acronym that I had that I am struggling to think of right now. It's not coming to me, but there was an acronym for this. But it would have spoiled it. It would have abused it. It would have it would have binge watched. Or binge watched. I would have just spoiled the music. Instead of me just listening to them in my own time at my own accord, it's just I would be standing here, you would all be here, and I would play the music. And there was no point in going back to watch a video where music was played in that video. And plus, it is against the rules of YouTube copyright. Well, it's against the rules. That at least takes away the silly feeling that I might have. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that rule. I just want to say thank you for that rule, because it makes me feel better that I do not have to do that. I do not have to do anything that I regret. And when there's a rule in place, it really, it makes it easier. Because I know that I'm going to regret doing it. I know it's just not going to be good. I am free to do whatever I want to do, but now I don't want to do it. And it's a rule that I do not want to break authentically. Authentically. I don't want to break that rule. I don't want to do the copyright thing. I mean, this is coming from me in my personal truth and my heart. Okay, I'm not trying to conform to anything I don't agree with, but in this situation, I agree enough to follow the rule. Now, it is a little bit of limitation to come up with all of these rules to avoid taking advantage and having fun in life. Okay, so I don't want you to go thinking, oh, you know what, if I know that I'm just gonna create all these rules and I'm gonna feel so good about myself that I don't have to do this because I've created all these rules. Like, rules are limitations, and you are putting those rules on yourself. You're instilling those limitations on yourself. I am putting a limitation of not playing YouTube videos during these Minton meetings. And I told you, I was very, very clear that I would not play or show you any YouTube video or any Netflix show or whatever it is. That day of March 4th, when I remember showing you, what did I show you? What did I show you? Oh yes, Scooby-Doo and the Dreamweaver episode. The guy with the ball in that red brick maze eating it. Okay, I can tell that it's not ringing a bell for anybody in here, so I'm just going to let it go. But I remember very, very clearly telling you that I would not play another video. Because if I do, I'm going to regret it. I've already told you that before. I've already made it clear. Okay, let us move on. Now, I do want to just lay in here that I did sort of tease you a little bit when I was talking about rules and limitations, because let me tell you, the person who's going to be coming in here is going to have some things to say about rules and limitations today. I rhymed. I rhymed, and I could sing it, but I'm not going to sing it. Okay. So, let us delete this from the agenda. And I have so many rules that I have to follow right now. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that because A, I don't want to, and B, I don't want to give away some personal information that I am dealing with right now in my life. So, what is the whole point of this meeting? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you over here? Why are a lot of you up there? Most of you up there, actually, is because remember how way back in June, I'm so obsessed with the Scorpio North Node. And then I became very interested in the Virgo North Node in July. Can you remember? Well, the North Node placement that I am very, 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 very interested in right now, and I'm going to say this in a bad way, please excuse my pronunciation, but I don't know if I can even do it because I didn't want to embarrass myself. So I'm interested right now in the North Node in Cancer. Drum roll. So yeah. So the North Node in the sign of Cancer. The last time that the North Node was in Cancer was from November 2018 to May of 2020. The South Node, likewise, was in Capricorn. And today, you will be meeting somebody who I used to know who has the South Node in Capricorn and the North Node in Cancer. Okay. Now, we're going to get into what it is about in Jan Spiller's book. And no, I'm not giving it away because this is going to be public. The whole world can have access to this. Alrighty, and I'm dead serious, by the way. So anyway, so I did a video about the South Node in Capricorn and North Node in Cancer, but you know what I really feel? I really, really feel like I think that Carly Wharton would be the best person to get into what the North Node in Cancer is about. I mean, you could ask yourself right now and right here, why isn't Carly a Cancer North Node? Why isn't the guest coming in a Pisces North Node? Because the other piece of information that I just want to insert is that Carly and the Amenton guest who will be arriving are in resemblance to each other. And I know very well that I would express, you all know what that word means, I should go into it, express the Amenton guest that will be arriving with Carly. And it would be really nice if this guest coming in was in fact a Pisces North Node. Now let me actually pull up the natal chart of this person that will be arriving to the Amenton. I just want to do this real quick. Now I'm using energy off my computer, but I do not feel guilty about it. So let me pull up her natal birth chart. Just pull it up and I'm just gonna run through wrong name, but anyway. I'm gonna run through the placements. So January 7, 1983. You need to know the place when it comes to the midheaven and ascendant, but we're not gonna look at that. Okay. So the person coming in is a South Node in Capricorn, North Node in Cancer. I wish that this person was a Virgo South Node, Pisces North Node, but anyway. And I find that placement, whoever has that placement had to go through some skepticism. I mean, Cancer is feelings and emotions, but Pisces is more than that. Pisces is connection to the universe. It is spirituality. It is trusting. It's letting go. It's not just emotions, but it is spirituality. And my personal preference would be Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node. However, that's not the placement of this person. So the this particular person, whose name, well, whose name, and I'm gonna say it loud and clear and loud and proud. Her name is Amy Ripper. Her previous name was Amy Edwards. See, I got over my fear of saying names on public videos. So that's good. Okay. So this person I'm pretty darn sure, I could be wrong, but I was looking at a website one day, January 7th, 1983 was the date. And in early 1983 and in 1982, the South Node was in Capricorn, the North Node was in Cancer. Now, who's also born during that transit of the nodes being in those signs? Well, Stormy Grace was born 1982, I believe. So she also has the South Node in Capricorn, North Node in Cancer. She's mentioned it several times on her videos. So the person has a Sun in Capricorn, a Moon in Scorpio, a Saturn in Scorpio, which is super important because whatever your Saturn sign is, you're going to find some similarities to the South Node. You're going to find similar meanings. So this person is a Capricorn, and you obviously need to look to the planet of your sun sign, which is Saturn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and in the chart, Saturn is in Scorpio. So Moon in Scorpio. So definitely, I'm seeing the Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Scorpio. This person can really focus on a goal and go to the ends of the earth to achieve that goal. In a very powerful and intense, very self-sufficient way. Like I'm going to cut through that hard meat without giving up. So Mercury retrograde, very, very interesting, in the sign of Aquarius, a futurist. So that's actually very nice. The Aquarian energy, they're thinking in ways that are for the good of humanity and thinking of ways that are innovative and future oriented, but it's retrograde. So it's when Mercury is retrograde, these are my tidbits that I know. I'm not an astrologer, but anyway, when Mercury is retrograde, you see the end product before you see what came before. So you're, reviewing, like really kind of ingenious when it comes to the thinking mind, can really dig deep into the information that is being presented to them. So Mercury in Aquarius is about thinking in terms of the highest good for all, thinking in terms of innovation, technology, information, and so on and so forth. Venus and Aquarius. So the moon and Venus are both relationship planets. The moon is not a planet, it's luminary, but in astrology talk, it is considered a planet. So the moon, Venus being in Aquarius, well, can't we just be friends? Can't we, very kind of detached energy, loving and a detached way, not wanting to be too, close, but definitely allowing a lot of space for the other person there. Mars in Aquarius, Jupiter in, oh, look at this, wow. Jupiter in Sag, Saturn in Scorpio, Uranus in Sagittarius, Neptune in Sagittarius, Pluto in Libra, and Lilith. Okay, so Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, very interestingly enough, deals with deep desires, and it may deal with us expressing certain characteristics of a given sign that other people reject. And it happens to be the same sign as the South Node in Capricorn. So Black Moon Lilith is dark and intense. So the dark side, any shadow side of this person would be very Capricornian. Remember, the South Node is the most exaggerated part of whom you are. It is what is overdeveloped, out of balance with the North Node. So if there are any shadow qualities expressed by this person, they would be Capricorn shadows. They would be, the more negative aspects of that sign. So I want to do a whole series of mentioned guests that will be coming in and interviews that will be done by Carly, two people who have their sun in the same exact sign as their South Node. So this person's sun sign, who they are meant to be in this life, how this person is meant to express herself, put herself out there, be in power, shine, is the same as the South Node in Capricorn. So that already says that maybe the soul made a contract that says, you know what? I think I'm going to get it right this time. I think this is going to be the lifetime where I get Capricorn right. In order to do so, every single sign evolves from the opposite sign. So in order to get Capricorn right, if you do the same thing over and over and over again, and you're not going to get a different result. If you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same result. So maybe this person has been doing Capricorn way too much. So in this life, they are going to do this sign properly, where they are going to evolve into Cancer. Move into that, move into connecting with your instincts and your emotional foundations and developing a home, developing, inner security and peace and all of those wonderful Cancerian traits. That is the direction this person will be heading in. So this person's sun is going to feel very familiar, and there's a comfort zone with it. But it happens to be the same sign as the South Node. I find it very fascinating when people have the sun as the same sign as their South Node. Alrighty. So what will be occurring is Carly will be interviewing her, talking with her, having a conversation with her. In person regarding her natal chart placement and her life experience regarding that placement. And it will be done a couple days from now on Wednesday, October 25th at my mention. So what's going to be happening is there is going to be an Oprah Live show again where there's going to be an audience and Carly will be having a conversation of about this person's Cancer North Node, Capricorn South Node, and she is going to be using this book, Astrology for the Soul. Now, I asked this person who will be coming in to so obviously this person's homework is so ironic because this person was a teacher that I used to have. This person's homework, relatively speaking, whenever I say that I sound super dictatorial, is reading the chapter on the Cancer North Node. Now, we are also going to be watching in a few moments, or when this meeting is over, you're going to be going in the theater and you're going to be watching Carly's videos on the North Node in Cancer, and this eventing guest will be doing the same thing. Okay, so that is that out of the way, and I'm going to be going through the book here in a moment. But before I do that, I did not forget about the rest of the stuff that I wrote on this board. Okay. So, announcements for the week. I'm just going to run through them really, really quickly. Today is Monday. It is the first official day of Scorpio season. So, happy birthday to anyone who is a sun in Scorpio. And today is, as you know, the birthday of the actor and singer Zach Callison. So that is going on. I have information about that on my page. October 25th is about Scorpio, Pluto, and politics. We are looking at political leaders and their secrets and their scandals and what they have going on behind the scenes that you may not be aware of. October 20. See, this is not my job. Okay, I'm gonna skip that. Okay, yeah, Daniel has already given the announcements for the week, and I am losing interest in that. Okay. Now, this person and Carly will be coming in together, and then we will meet her. And I'm actually going to wait. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I am not Carly. She is going to be she's going to be talking about the North Node in Cancer placement when Amy arrives, because she is going to do it. I want to put the spotlight on her because she can talk about it much better than I can, and I do not want to just I don't want to give myself attention that I don't want to give myself that attention. And I do not choose to stand up here and read the book and explain it. But I'm going to go through a little bit, and then Carly's going to take the stage here. So I'm gonna go through that now because I really want Carly to shine. I want all my mentioned guests and mentioned people to shine. She is going to be going through like she would do her videos with the attributes to develop and tendencies to leave behind, and then getting into that specifically talking to Amy, and then she'll be having the conversation with her 2 days from now on. It's like an Oprah setup, those Oprah shows. And Oprah Winfrey actually had a Capricorn North Node, Cancer South Node. She also had Saturn in Scorpio, so I've got that. But this conversation will be had on Wednesday at 1 p.m. at my mention. So I just want to enforce that right now. So yes, this North Node is different than the Pisces North Node chapter. And for me to say that I prefer the Pisces North Node over the Cancer North Node, I would be saying that I prefer Carly over Amy. And that is the absolute truth. So, I am going to now go into the chapter here without giving too much away. And I'm just gonna read through a little section here. So I have not read the whole chapter yet, but I'm gonna get there. So all of you should have these books right here. So I hope that all of you have them. Okay, so I just want you to get out your books, Astrology for the Soul, because you do. I don't want to sound a tutorial again, so I'm just going to leave the thought out of the equation here. So, get out those books and then turn the page to 153. Because I'm just going to read just a little bit of this, and I might even read beyond what I've already read. Get that. Okay, so 153. Okay. So while I'm waiting for people to get to that page, I'm just going to play a little music. All right. So, tendency is to leave behind. Now, how many of you have, first of all, I should have done this from the very beginning. How many of you have the North Node in Cancer in your birth chart? You should all know your placements. I'm seeing several people. Well, you will have a chance to be interviewed and have a conversation with Carly as well. And also, who will be coming to my mention on November 4th is Tori Amos, who has the North Node in Cancer. So Carly will be having a conversation with her as well about her life experience when it comes to her Capricorn South Node and Cancer North Node. And she is a very famous singer. She has several albums, and that allows her to connect to her emotions, singing as a way to connect with her emotions. I mean, anything that can allow you to connect with your feelings is great for the North Node in Cancer. Now, when the North Node was in Cancer the last time, in August of 2019, when the North Node was in Cancer, I fell into a depressed funk. Funk. I'm not saying that word. I fell into that depression. I was very feeling down in the dumps. I was thinking about this. This is what I couldn't get my mind off. Like, watch me. Like, I was thinking about my walking, and I was super, like, thinking about how my legs would sometimes come together. I mean, it was just one of those intrusive thoughts, just like thinking about my teeth. And speaking of which, I should get my braces off April of 2024, and that will be bittersweet because while it is going to be a good thing that I'm going to finally get my braces off, there might be a lot of plaque up there in my teeth, and I might start having those thoughts again about my teeth. So that is just the thing that I'm just a little bit concerned about. But I welcome those thoughts now because of all the stuff that I've been working on healing with obsessive compulsions and all those kind of things. So I mean, those thoughts, at least I can sit down and surrender and not feel like I have to take care of things. So I have went that way before. I've gone down that road with those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts about certain parts of my body. I've just allowed them to be there and just allowed it to be imperfect and yeah, just yeah. And just you can just sit and surrender and just have the thoughts. That's what I've come to experience. And I know that it sounds easier said than done. But um, you know, I wish that I would have had the problems in the past that I had to deal with sometimes. Like I've actually wished that those were the issues that I would rather deal with. Just having those thoughts instead of thoughts of I have to do this, I have to do that. You know, all of it. So I fell into that depression, kind of feeling very low, feeling sad in that August. And then what happened in 2020 that we all know very, very well, COVID-19 happened. So the North Node was in Cancer, so we were being called upon to go inside ourselves, to go into introspection, to connect with our families, to stop working in the external realms, because the thing about the Capricorn South Node is all based off of external results. If I just do this, and if I just stick to my guns and sacrifice and achieve the goal, then I will get recognized, then I will finally be able to just be vulnerable and feel, but actually that's not how it's not how it works, because in this life it is about stopping in your tracks from being a robot and stop with the same habit patterns. Notice how you feel. Trust your I don't want to even say emotions and feelings because that brings up skepticism. As I wonder if certain skepticism will be said by the person who will be coming in here, which I will invite them to come in here very, very soon. And so, you know what? They're actually going to come in, and I'm going to go through a little bit of astrology for the soul, and then Carla is going to take the floor. But so anyway, so connecting with your intuition, feeling your feelings. I have a whole video I did on the North Node in Cancer. I filmed it way back in July on the new moon in Cancer, believe it or not. I filmed that video. Connecting with your emotions and also validating the emotions of others, which is also a really, really key piece. Because you may think that they might just need to grit and bear it and suck it up and just do the job. And You know, it's like you can build the structure, but you're gonna feel empty. You're gonna have walls, and you're gonna feel unfulfilled unless you connect with your emotions, unless you connect in emotional ways with other people, especially your family. Um, so yeah, that's just a little summary of the that particular placement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now actually Daniel, you can go invite them to come in. Thank you very much. And while they're coming in, I'm just going to play a little music and then I'm just going to continue on. Sing it with me. This is the event song. All of you should know this very, very well. We welcome you in to the mentor. We hope you'll have a good time. Our contract that you saw is so magical and beautiful. Everybody in here singing. Now welcome in. Now welcome into my amen. Let's just keep singing until they arrive. Honor in the best kind of way. This man goes for the rest of your day. This man through this magical place. This magical place called the Amen. Oh, that was super terrible. The Amen. Welcome in. Welcome to the event. Sing it. Come in. Welcome in into the event. Welcome in into the event. It's terrible. Welcome in. To the event. Beautiful. Beautiful. As always, beautiful. I hope that recording comes out in the end. Okay, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very excited. A while. Definitely. I've been doing what I enjoy doing and doing a lot of stuff. Yeah. I've been the YouTube channel where I do videos on astrology, spirituality. Yeah. What have you been up to? I was noticing that you changed schools. Really? Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Alrighty, so everybody, this is Amy Ripperford. And of course you already know Rolling Orton. Both of them have come in at the same time because I just want to say this right now. Both of them, even though they're very different, they bear slight resemblance to each other. Maybe you can see that, I cannot, but anyway. So in a couple of days' time, Carla will be sitting down with Amy, having a conversation about her life experience reflected with her Cancer North Node. You know, just right there, I reminded myself of keeping up appearances and Hyacinth Bouquet, who said, you know, water signs suffer with I'm gonna do it. Riparian, I can't do it today. Riparian entertainment, which means a supper by the water or something like that. It was a really, really funny episode in its own unique way. Alrighty, so I'm going to do something that I have just thought of doing right now, and then I'm going to get into what I really wanted to talk about. So this is the song that you all know very, very well, and I just feel like I want to have us sing the song, the welcome song. So we'll just see how this goes. I'm just going to play the music, and then you can sing along with it. Ask some things real quick. that felt weird. I'm actually not going to do that. I know I decided to do it and then I immediately changed, but as soon as you started saying it, I was like, this is a little strange. Okay, so um, you don't know. Sometimes you think an idea is gonna work and then you try it and go. So, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you some tendencies to leave behind when it comes to troubleshoot for the soul. Now, I just want to say, have you got your copy of this? Okay, there are copies over there. So yeah, just turn to the chapter on your gosh, I'm such a Morrison Gemini pronouncing that so well. Your North Node placement, which is in Cancer. So page 153. Okay, so um so Carly is a Pisces North Node and Amy is a Cancer North Node. Both of those are water North Nodes. And I think that I really I know that you're going to talk about part of what you're going to talk about is water North Nodes in general. And I think that that's super important because of having the two people being resemblance to each other, but also adding in their unique astrology to serve as them being in resemblance to each other in that way because of their astrology. Because one part of this is I know that your midheaven is in Capricorn, and I know that you're a Capricorn sun sign. And so both of your north nodes are in water. So I'm going to do my version, and you're going to speak and give your presentation on this, but contemplation on this, I should say. But so both of the north nodes deal with control in the 3D physical reality. Now the Virgo south node, I have this vision of because there's something actually there is something at the mentioned headquarters where you go into a room and you do exercises and things that strengthen. It's like you're going to the gym and you're working your muscles. You're going into these rooms and you are strengthening your north node muscles. So I have this vision of you give your birth date of when you were born, and then the cashier register puts you in a room that is full of Pisces North nodes. And then you're basically doing the Pisces North node thing, even though that's not your North node. Because there's no such thing as the Capricorn South node and Pisces North node, because the nodal axis is always in the opposite signs. Now, the Virgo South node is the South node that deals with overanalyzing, getting too caught in the details, analysis paralysis. It could even be, it can be, there's a nervous, high strung energy with Virgo. They were the doctors, the surgeons, those types of people who needed to be accurate in the details, needed to be absolutely right. Otherwise, it could be fatal to somebody. And the Pisces North Node is about trusting the universe. It's about trusting the divine, surrendering the form of something, surrendering the plan of something, moving into the unknown. And I want to draw upon the similarities between Pisces North Node and Cancer North Node. And I also want to talk about the differences. Now, Of course, Pisces and Scorpio North nodes are more complex. The Cancer North node is really very simple, but it's not as simple as you think that it is, because there's layers, because astrology is like an onion. There's layers to it. So don't just think that, oh, Cancer North node is just connecting with your emotions, because it can also be your intuition as well, which Sonia Choquette, who happens to be a spiritual teacher, and she has a book called Trust Your Vibes, talks about your intuition. So I can also see trusting your intuition being a really, huge part of the Cancer North node thing. Like that. So, without further ado, I'm going to read to you the North Node in Cancer tendencies to leave behind. And I'm going to do this slowly, so you can allow the space to process these. So this is the list of the overview. So the attributes to develop. This is your Cancer North Node. Noticing and validating feelings. Noticing and validating feelings. Empathy. Nurturing and supporting others. Building one's own foundation and security. Honest disclosure of feelings and insecurities. Humility. Accepting others' foibles and fluctuating moods without judgment. Staying centered in one's own feelings. So this is basically the North Node is the healthy attributes, so whatever sign that it is in, that need to be developed. So the positive side of that, the light side of that sign, the high vibration aspects of that sign's energy is what needs to be developed here and integrated. Because you remember, you're not trying to abandon I've said this so many times before. You're not trying to abandon the South Node, but you're trying to integrate, you're trying to balance while moving, towards the North Node. You are using the highest frequency of the South Node to then move into the North Node. Then to ground into that North Node energy. So the tendencies to leave behind. Actually, what I want to do is I want to compare this. This is where my vision comes into play. I do want to read part of the Pisces North Node section of this as well. So, tendencies to leave behind. Needing to control everything and everyone. So it says that before I actually go down the list, it says working to reduce the influence of these tendencies can help make life easier and more enjoyable. So, the tendencies to leave behind are needing to control everything and everyone, compulsion to take charge without fully understanding the situation, ignoring the process, being too focused on the goal, feeling completely responsible for everything, hiding feelings and fears in intimate relationships, doing things to gain respect or admiration from others, taking care of what others' feelings and neglecting one's own, doing what is socially acceptable rather than what is totally honest, thinking that things have to be difficult in order to be important. So I know that you can discuss it way more, depth than I can, but I do have videos actually on all 12 of the North Node placements. So if you want my personal contemplations of those North Nodes, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. And I did film the video for the Cancer North Node also. So if you want my interpretation of it, then those videos are there for you. But anyway, so I do want to read just a little bit more of this section, and then I also want to get into the Pisces North Node and just go through that a little bit, and then probably can take the stage. Take the stage. Okay, well that sounds really, formal. Anyway, so Achilles heel, trapped to avoid the bottom line. Okay. So the Achilles heel trap to avoid the bottom line. And Harley also talks about the North Node, the North Node in Cancer on her channel. She has several contemplations on the Cancer North Node. So Achilles heel, trap to avoid the bottom line. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to play for you a song that I think really represents the Cancer North Node. So I'll do that as soon as I'm done. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the Cancer North Node, and then I'm going to do all the things concerning that, and then talk a little bit about the Pisces North Node, and then that's going to be it for me talking. So, or presenting. So, the Achilles heel trap to avoid the bottom line. Steps the Achilles heel Cancer North Node people need to be aware of is their need to control. So the inner psychological dialogue is, if only I can make them get their lives together, then I can relax and be vulnerable. But the truth is that they can never control situations or other people enough to feel that it's safe to be themselves. When they try to take charge of situations in other people's lives without being invited, they are inappropriately usurping others' responsibilities. The trap they need to avoid is an unending search for acknowledgement. If only others will recognize my contribution in a respectful way, I can begin to feel good about myself, says the internal dialogue. But it's a bottomless pit. Others can never give enough recognition for them to feel satisfied. Only when they acknowledge within themselves the importance of the contributions they make through nurturing others in a supportive way will they begin to feel fulfilled. So this may seem counterintuitive. This may be counter what you may view as, I'm going to go there with something big, your life purpose. So it may, aspects of it may resonate and other aspects may not resonate, but I feel like this is kind of counterintuitive. Although I also know that your South Node, Saturn is in the sign of Scorpio. So that's also a water sign. And that means, going into the depths of life, going into the deeper aspects of life and becoming vulnerable, experiencing, facing certain insecurities and feelings that you may not want to look at, that you may not want to face, but this life is about leading into those deep emotions, no matter how fearful or insecure or uncomfortable and difficult it might be to lean into those emotions. Yeah. Okay, so the bottom line is that they will never have enough authority to feel that it's safe to be vulnerable. At some point, they must take a chance and let others know the truth of who they are and how they feel, their insecurities, fears of rejection and abandonment, and feelings of inadequacy. The irony is that when they risk letting others see who they truly are, they finally gain total safety. Because in revealing their feelings, they've taken charge of themselves on a deeper level. So it's really very simple given the heaviness and the weight of the sign of Capricorn. But there is a spiritual aspect to it. There definitely is. So, I could easily go on to this whole chapter. Um, Actually, I am gonna go as far as the personality sections, and it goes into the whole gambit of the book. So I am gonna read a little bit more of this, and then I'm gonna stop at the personality section. So, what these people really want. What these people really want is to be in absolute control of every area of their lives all the time. They have an insatiable need to think they have the power to succeed. To attain this goal, however, these folks must stay in touch with their feelings and insecurities and share the truth about themselves with others. Acknowledging their insecurities will give Cancer North Node people a stable base from which to create success in the outer world. For they are no longer fighting themselves by trying to hide or suppress their feelings. This gives them a calm inner certainty from which to accomplish their goals. And by acknowledging their own emotions, they will develop an awareness of other people's feelings. As long as they remain aware and supportive of other people, they will gain the support they require to help them on their own path. Now, looking at the talents and profession of these people, Cancer North Node people have the gift of being able to nurture and support others. Therefore, any profession that gives them the opportunity to nourish others physically, mentally, or emotionally is a joy for them. Good choices would include dealing with food, restaurants, hotels, hospitality, etc., house repairs, and working in the home. They also do very well selling or investing in real estate. However, they must use their instincts in such investments and follow their hunches. Cancer North Node people also have a solid and accurate business sense and an excellent capacity for bargaining and shrewd negotiating. They instinctively know how to accomplish things and succeed in business. However, when their profession involves using only their business acumen, they are not happy because it is too dry. Their profession should make use of their business instincts only as a backdrop to nurture others in a practical, financially viable way. And then it gives a whole list of healing affirmations that and has listed. So now what I want to do is I want to play a song. Sorry, but I'm going to do this that I think really represents this placement very, very well. And then I'm going to turn it over a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, let's make today the focus for today on the Cancer North node. Well, actually, yeah, maybe, actually, you know what, maybe, you can contrast and compare the Pisces and Cancer North nodes and go through that. I'm going to talk about your own North node, because, you know, me doing it is just kind of, you know, I don't have that placement. So, let me see. So the song that I want to play for you is Walls. And I think that this song, such a powerful song. The message of it is, you know, basically you can there's all kinds of walls around. But what about metaphorical walls? What about the walls that we build between ourselves and others that block off emotional connection, that block off, you know, forgiveness and, you know, vulnerability and love and peace? What about those metaphorical walls? So this song does a great job of um entailing them or describing them. Okay, so that was walls. So did that resonate, do you think? Well, I'm glad that you said that. I don't know. I, 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 did I like, did I read the, did I read the, tendencies to leave behind and attributes to develop clear enough? Yeah. Let me read them again. 153. These are the attributes to develop. Noticing and validating feelings. That's one attribute to develop. Well, that's not your north node. Feelings do matter, and they're not a waste of time. Let me continue. Empathy, nurturing and supporting others, building one's own foundation in security, honest disclosure of feelings and insecurities, humility, staying centered in one's own feelings. Yes, I did skip one, but I didn't think that it pertained right now. Staying centered in one's own feelings. I mean, this is what is written in the attributes to develop section. Neglecting one's own feelings. This is where there is not a resemblance between you and Carly. Now, I believe I was very, very clear when I said to my mention before you came in, I know who I prefer. And I know in general what know the place that I prefer. And it happens not to be North Node Cancer. Now, of course, for me to say that would be for me to cherry pick everyone with this place. Of course, I knew somebody who was very nice. And who seemed to be more sort of open to what I told him I was interested in, astrology and spirituality. He happened to be a acquired I happened to have some voice lessons with him, and he seemed open and curious about astrology, about the things that I was interested in. And you appear to me to be tight, put together. The North Node in Cancer is about just loosening up, and it also deals with enjoying things and allowing yourself to feel what it is that you're feeling. I mean, now you're going to get a much better and more in-depth interpretation from Carly than you're going to get from me. I think that you're standing to the right of somebody who has really evolved into her North Node. And this person that you're standing next to happens to be open and curious, and is not caught in skepticism and those kind of things like that. This person that you're standing next to has moved into her North Node. I don't want to make any assumptions, but perhaps embraced her North Node. What you're saying is pretty powerful, but it's wrong. What you're saying is wrong. What you're saying is wrong. I mean, it isn't wrong, but it is wrong. Because I want you to understand who you are when it comes to understanding yourself through the lens of astrology, through the lens of your North Node, which isn't in Capricorn, it's in Cancer. So for you to just come in here and blatantly choose to put down what I have gone through, and perhaps to put down what Carly is going to be talking about. I, I'm not going to have it. Now, I have very good memory. I have very good memory. And I remember you stood in front of the class one time and you stood up and made a huge statement for you to debunked astrology in front of the whole entire class. I don't know, but I remember. I remember. And it's a shock to me that you're convinced of that you actually believe that. I mean, I wish that that, that you were a Pisces North Node. And I wish that you were more like the person standing next to you. That's not true. You want to take the floor? So Carly is going to be talking about the North Node in Cancer, your North Node. And you didn't come here so that you could turn your mind and ears off to what other people are saying. In alignment with your North Node, to what other people feel about who you are. You didn't come here to make those kind of bold statements that are not true. Don't make me regret why I asked you to come to my Menton. Let's see if that shifts. We're all entitled to our opinions, but maybe that'll change if you listen to Carly as she talks about the Cancer North Node. I'm asking you to be open. I'm asking you to listen. I'm asking you to understand some meaningful information that's going to be spoken here in this room. And I'm asking you to drop your skepticism. That's what I'm asking you to do. You can present what you intended to present.